Welcome to a quick overview of Xopero ONE and GitProtect's latest release. We've released 17 new or improved features and fixed tens of bugs, so now our products are more reliable than ever. Let's take a look at key changes in this release. So first of all, we released a long-awaited feature which is Jira Granular Backup. It allows you to protect only selected Jira spaces and specific items from these spaces. So right now there is no need to protect your entire Jira, and you can combine Jira Disaster Recovery Backup with Jira Granular to improve your data security and meet the most demanding recovery point objective times. Then we've added also support for Azure DevOps Artifacts. So quite important resources from Azure DevOps are now protected. We cover artifact fix with their packages and packages content, including also feeds configurations. Then we've added support for Microsoft 365 groups, and right now they are visible on user list, and during a backup plan configuration, with it you can configure backup more efficient than before. We've also added additional data to GitHub Projects backup, like draft issues and additional fields from GitHub Project, like status, labels, milestones. All of these are now covered. We allow you also to select GitHub repository based on user-defined custom property. Just define a custom property on your GitHub organization level, assign value to your repositories, and after that, based on this property and selected value, your repositories are included automatically in a data backup. Last but not least, you can also easily exclude attachments from a Jira disaster recovery backup. You can set up, for example, two different backup plans of Jira, two different Jira disaster recovery backup plans. The first one, which just cover entire Jira and attachments, perform less frequent than Jira disaster recovery backup without attachments, because less data means a way faster backup. So now let me take you to a quick overview of GitProtect and Xopero ONE, the newest release. Let's start with Jira Granular Backup. So first of all, what we need to do is to create a new backup plan. Let me press Assign Plan, and let's create a new plan, which is Granular Backup. The first level of data granularity is on space level. So right now I can select all spaces to be backed up automatically. I can just select them manually, or even I can define a rule based on space name, key, or type to include them automatically into the backup. Of course, right now I'm going to select my spaces manually, so let me choose just a few of them, as I don't need to protect the entire Jira with my granular backup. The second level of data granularity are items you can choose to protect from your spaces or from your Jira Cloud configuration, like groups or users. I recommend usually to protect all of this data, but of course everything is up to your needs. So if you don't need to protect, for example, some components or boards from selected spaces, you can just easily exclude them. Or maybe to save the space, you can also disable attachments if they are covered by your Jira disaster recovery backup. So let's press save and let's move forward. The rest of the backup plan configuration, like selection of backup storage or scheduler and retention, remains exactly the same as for every other backup plan available in Xopero ONE and GitProtect. But here in advanced settings, you can find the ability to exclude Jira issues based on their name, key, or even you can provide JQL to limit the number of issues which are protected with GitProtect or Xopero ONE. So let's press save, and again we can just save our backup plan to perform it in the future. Speaking about Jira, let's take a look again at our disaster recovery backup plan, how easily you can disable protection of your attachments. Just move to this data to protect section, and here you can disable attachments protection. So without attachments, your backup will be smaller and of course will be way faster than with attachment, but still I believe attachments are also quite important, so do not forget to set up additional Jira disaster recovery backup plan which covers attachments as well. So let's move forward to Azure DevOps because we've added support for Azure DevOps Artifacts, which is enabled by default in every new backup plan. So just let's create a new one. And again, in section Data to Protect, by pressing Edit, I can decide if I would like to protect my artifact feeds with packages and their content. Under artifact feeds are also hidden feeds settings, so everything is included there. Then we've added support for Microsoft 365 groups to Xopero ONE and GitProtect. So if I will go to manage and restore of my users, here is additional column with groups to which the user is assigned. And then I can easily try to search user based on their group assignment. And here I have 4 users assigned to third team site group. I can use also this group feature while setting up a backup plan. So let's go back to list of our organization and let's create a new backup plan for my Microsoft 365 tenant. So right now in user list, I can select if I would like to protect all of them. So every new user will be also added automatically to our backup, or I just can manage users manually and select them manually to protection. Again, I can try to search my users based on their group assignment. Here I have my 4 different users and I just select these users manually. The rest of the backup plan configuration remains unchanged as it was before. Okay, let's move forward. Let's go back to our DevOps tab and let's talk about GitHub and selection of your repositories to a backup plan. So again, I have to create a new backup plan for my GitHub data. And after that, I have to select which repositories I'm going to protect. So I can define the rules which is based on a custom property to include or exclude my repositories from a backup. Here I have a list of custom properties which are right now defined in my GitHub organizations, so they are fetched directly from my GitHub. And let's say I'm going to protect only repositories with 2 backup property set to true. And with this, by assigning true value to property to backup on a GitHub site, I can easily manage which repositories are covered by GitProtect or Xopero ONE backups and which aren't. So that's how easily you can manage right now your backup content. And that's it. That's all the key changes in the 2.10 release. Of course, I encourage all of you to take a look and put your hands on Xopero ONE or GitProtect to see how all these changes works for you. Right now, thank you and may the data stays with you.